Good morning. Welcome to my Compound Life. I'm your host, Jonathan. This is a channel about my compound life where we build assets, we build habits. So essentially, these are important habits that we utilize to protect our asset, to protect our wealth, and lastly, we build freedom. And hopefully, that should be financial freedom. Okay, so if you haven't already done so, please drop a like, hit subscribe, and become my 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th subscribers where possible. That will be really helpful for me as a small content creator and be very encouraging if you can do that, right? So help me out, drop a like, hit subscribe, become my 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and even drop a comment if you manage to become my 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 subscribers. That would be really helpful. Thank you. So it is a very chilly and windy, heaps of rain Monday morning. Very, very depressing. But anyway, nothing stops me from creating more video for you guys. So what I'll be talking about this morning, I'll be talking about Bitcoin. Such a shit day to wake up to 84,000 USD Bitcoin this morning, right? You know, just when we're all hoping for some sort of recovery, and we hit in our face again with more wars, right? Looking at the fear and greed index, we definitely fell from yesterday. I think it was 24 fear and greed onto about 20, 22. But anyway, it is what it is. I think what exactly gone wrong, right? Because we've got so much set up that are positive, pointing towards a recovery of some sort for Bitcoin and our growth stocks, right? So what happened over the weekend, I think, will potentially impact more European sell-off this morning for Bitcoin, especially the ETPs and ETNs. More sell-off for our growth stocks, your Tesla shares, your Nvidia, and your Google, and so forth, right? Can I squeeze through? Let me check. Let's not risk it. So what happened over the weekend? Well, I think one thing for sure happened that's impacted us greatly, essentially, is the Japan market. And it does seem their interest rate will be rising. So it's having a knock-on effect on the carry trade. So essentially what that means, Japan market historically have very, very low interest rate, right? And as a result, a lot of institutions, a lot of people, they go in to borrow the Japanese yen, and they take cheap money and invest that into growth stocks, or invest that into the US bonds and so forth, right? Because it borrow cheap, invest with a higher yield, and then somehow pay off their cheap borrowing, right? So of course the Japan market, they cannot keep up with much higher inflation, right? So they had to they had to increase their interest rate. As a result, whomever is borrowing from Japan now, they're gonna have some issue of paying back, right? Because it used to be so much cheaper to borrow, and then now their interest rate rise. It's gonna have some knock-on effect, and that's not good, right? So I would somehow just see this as a temporary blip in the system. It hopefully shouldn't have too long of a issue. Won't be affecting the price for too long, hopefully. But at the same time, it's just kind of give you guys all a heads up of what to expect this morning, because I am expecting a sell-off again in the next couple of days or even weeks, while this Japanese carry trade situation will continue. But so this is also a very pain in the ass thing too, because obviously in the US, what they're trying to do is to stop quantitative tightening, followed by rate cut. I think rate cut will be sometime on the 10th of December, right? So there'll be some sort of announcement today in the US time, so in the UK time, in the US time, to announce whether quantitative tightening will be stopped, right? And then hopefully by 10th of December, I believe, we shall know whether US Fed, Jerome Powell, whether he will be okay to do a rate cut, do us a favor, right? I don't think the Bitcoin price for now is pricing in the rate cut, right? Because I think Polymarkets only recently kind of predicts it to have the rate cut. Because initially we were expecting no rate cut because there weren't enough reports. I think jobs report for October for Fed to make that decision. But I think the financial institutions now in the US are doing terribly. As a result, maybe Feds might be more aggressive with the rate cut. So even for 25 basis point rate cut, I don't think it's even priced in yet. So it will be awesome for Bitcoin if we get a 50 basis point rate cut. However, as I mentioned countless times in my video, it isn't about the rate cut, right? So obviously quantitative easing needs to start sometime in January, and followed by money printing, right? There are some mini money printing going on, but insufficient to push any of the asset price higher just yet, right? So it needs to be ongoing couple of billions worth of money printing that will result in higher assets. Okay, so however, it does seem like Japan and even China. So Japan and China are like two of the key markets that are buying the American bonds, buying the American debts, right? In supporting the US with their money printing and so forth, right? It does seem somehow Japan and China are doing this on purpose to piss Japan, to piss US off, right? So there goes, there we go. There goes our potential Christmas rally for Bitcoin and the equity market. because I think everyone are expecting a Christmas rally. So that's pretty bad. But you know what? I think I've mentioned this before. I think in yesterday's video. If you look at the monthly return for Bitcoin, right? It does seem we are in that period when November returns us negative, right? Negative returns for Bitcoin. Usually it results in December same outcome too, also negative, right? So whether will be negative enough to push us down to 70,000, I think it's possible, because I think if you look through historical figure, some of the negative would be about 7%. That would be the lower rate, right? 3 to 7% would be the lower rate. Some would be higher, around 15%, 16%, right? So do have the expectation that we might not get a Christmas rally after all. To the hedges. And yeah, that's the whole situation. And it's gonna be red days for us for the coming few days, weeks. Yeah, so be strong. I think if you can hodl, just hodl for a longer period of time until we've got more confirmation from the US Fed of rate cut, quantitative easing leading into money printing. So it might as well just start today. You know, we'll get the announcement that, you know, they're gonna stop quantitative tightening. Okay, so it is what it is. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, become my 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 subscribers. That will really help my channel. I'll try to keep you up. I'll try to keep you all up to date of what the hell is going on. And have a great day. You know, it's depressing in the UK weather-wise, and I think, you know, stock markets and Bitcoin-wise, it will equally be depressing too. Best thing to do is hit the gym, right? And don't look at charts. Don't look at anything for the next couple of days. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.